about right.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
That's good.
We are live. I know this is the highlight of your week, ain't it? Where's my phone? Oh, here it is.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of remind me of my mom running around the house. Where's my glasses? Oh, they're up here.
Yeah, we're back Porch Settin today because we got some wind. I think we brought it back from Texas with us. This is the kind of wind they have all the time there, but kind of unusual for here,
I don't
actually.
know.
Well, if it's enough to put the awning in, that's substantial. We don't normally get that.
I don't know.
Well, if it's enough to put the Okay. Hey, y'all. I said we'll get it together here eventually.
I'm just about ready to call that guy at Spectrum to get me a new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this phone's just so goofy. I punched YouTube and it brought up my ink pad.
Well, you know what you told me.
Sometimes I hit the screen, it doesn't do anything. I got to punch the same button 4 and 5 times on the
Yeah.
screen.
I said you told me just get a new one. Quit
For as
messing
much
with
as
it.
these phones cost, this thing should last me 10 years.
Well, I know it should. It doesn't, but it should. Uh, well, I know it should.
Come on. See, I can't turn it down.
Oh, everybody's got a good start today. Uh, hey, Georgia, Chicago. Yeah, Jerry Bell's a new show name for the show, Hot Air with Skip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We need a cameraman. Yes. Hey, Tammy. Oh, 47 in the fort today. Yeah, that's balmy. No, that's cold. That's cold to us. Oh, goodness.
Who we got on here? Ohio, Kevin K., which I think he's in, I want to say Fort Wayne area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bill B., I don't know if he's hard at work or not.
Are you working, Bill? You can't tell anybody I know.
Jerry, pay attention to me. Sue dug this out of the newspaper. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me see if I can get a little closer. This.
Yeah. Is that you?
Is that you? Or is that another Jerry Bell?
Yeah, part of the
We don't
birders.
know. We just kind of read about member of the village's birders club. A little article in here, and it said that that's you. I don't know. Is that really you, or is that a fake you?
Yeah, that's a very nice article. Okay. We have, well, Mark Berry's here. Haven't heard from him for a while.
Oh, he's been gallivanting around. Elizabeth Chamberlain. I haven't seen her on here for a long while either, from Chicago area up there.
Ray Perkowski. Can I say that right? What's that? Her name. Mr. Rizzo's here.
Mr. Rizzo. By the way, for you guys that don't know, I don't know if I did a video or not. I did, I think, a couple clips here and there, but I haven't done anything with it. Anyway, Mr. Rizzo and his wife, we went to Oh Shucks last week to have lunch / dinner, whatever you want to call it. We sat outside and talked for a while. And I'm telling you, Oh Shuck is starting to become a popular place because every time we go there, it seems like it's crowded.
It's harder and harder to get in now. So, and we went after the lunch schedule. So it, like I said, it's become popular. Wonder if we have anything to do with that.
Probably. I should just keep my mouth shut about these secret places to go eat.
Uh,
I think it made no difference, though. I was showing them. I don't know if Sue's told you or not, but Wildwood has approved how many hotels now?
6
6 new hotels to be built in Wildwood. 6.
on 301.
One of which, about maybe a half a block or a block, maybe at the most a block, but I'm going to say a half a block, just behind those shucks. There's an abandoned building there that used to be, I think years ago, it was like it's been used for a lot of things, but I think they sold like fruits and vegetables there on weekends and stuff.
And then it was a thrift store,
And it was a thrift store. Anyway, it's empty now. There's nothing there. It hadn't been anything there for years. There's been a application sent in the Wildwood Commission to build a hotel there. How big, I don't know. What kind of hotel, don't know. I just know it's been done. And if that happens, O'Shucks is going to get conglomerated because people can walk from this place over to O'Shucks.
Oh, hey, Phil. How are ya? Haven't heard from you in a while. And Marcia?
Tammy Ferguson, Johnny N. We are live. Yes, we are. I see a few of my YouTube members are on here. Thanks for supporting the channel, guys.
Yeah.
I know I haven't done a members only live for a while. I'm working on it. It just seems like here lately we're just swamped with stuff to do.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
So, and I'm working on the news for next Friday now. That'll take me 2 or 3 days. Tomorrow we've got a meet and greet.
We do?
Yeah, at 1 o'clock. I thought I asked you yesterday. I said,
You asked me if I was doing anything. You didn't tell me
well,
what
that's all
we
you
were
need
doing.
to know. If you're not doing anything Thursday, that's what it's all about. We're doing a meet. We're doing a meet and greet.
Okay.
And so we'll be doing that. And I don't know. It's just one thing after. Oh, Sue's planning my lunch or dinner, whatever you want to call it, with the W&L crew.
For your birthday, yes.
That's a week from now or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I just found out they don't take reservations. So,
Great.
yeah, it might be a wait. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Bill B says he'd drive past and make an appearance, but Mr. Rohan would turn me in.
Huh?
Bill B said he'd drive by and make an appearance, but Mr. Rohan would probably turn him in. We won't tell.
Yeah, I won't tell. But you can't trust that Rohan character.
Cindy G, greetings from Kentucky. Well, hi, Cindy. What are you doing in Kentucky? I know, it's not my business.
Did Jerry ever answer if this is him?
I did not see. Did not see anything from him, so maybe he doesn't want people to know.
I don't care what he wants. He's in the paper.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful here. It really is. But when I said we've got some wind, and I said we have had for 3 or 4 days, and I just thought when all the storms and everything was over that this wind would die down, but it's still putting the awning in, so it's close to 20 mile an hour. And
They had a tornado 2 days ago down at West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I think it's West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
So we're still getting, the funny part here, compared to say other states that we've lived in, Florida is like 500 and some miles long. I don't know if people realize it or not. It's a whole day's drive from the north of Florida to the south of Florida. So weather can happen anywhere in between that long stick. And in other parts of Florida, nothing. Like we had nothing, no problem. We may have had a little bit of rain, maybe, I don't know. But then West Palm Beach, Florida down there got hit with a big tornado. Tore a bunch of stuff up. Just like in Fort Myers a couple months ago. They got hit with a massive flood. 20 inches of rain in like 1 hour. I mean, unheard of stuff. Well, here, I don't know, it may got a little cloudy, may got a little windy, but other than that, we got virtually nothing. Yeah. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. John Lombard says, hi, Sue and Skip. Greetings from St. John's. Down for a week to celebrate wife's 55th. Well, happy birthday to the wife. And what do you think about St. John's? You know, it's one of those new areas, and they're still moving things around in there. But we were down there last week sometime. Yeah, and looks like a nice area. St. John's.
We came by. I don't think I was in it. Was I in it? Yeah, I did. That's where that house was for sale, right?
Yeah.
A patio villa. We was in St. John's.
No, we were in St. Catharines, and they lived in St. John's. That's where it was.
No. We was in St. John's, and he's moving to St. John's because I said in the video he bought a house actually in the same neighborhood.
No. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Watch the video. It's a patio villa for sale, which I don't know. They may have sold it by now because he said that the real estate guy called him and he said we might be getting an offer today. That's why I was in a hurry to get in and get out of there because I've seen these real estate people before. Last minute, the person is thinking about making an offer. Generally, they'll tell the real estate guy, "Can I go over and do one last walkthrough?"
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be in the way.
Oh, I see now. Cindy C says greetings from Kentucky. She must live in Kentucky. I got that confused with Cindy G.
Who?
Cindy C and Cindy G. Cindy G is in Pittsburgh.
She's a member, Cindy G.
Yeah, she's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Cindy C
Get
is
out
in
of Pittsburgh.
Kentucky.
Get out. I'm telling you now, run. Run hard. Run fast.
Oh, Agent K. You know what? We're not getting Buc-ee's in the villages, but we're getting one just north of us in the northern part of Ocala. They've okayed one. I don't know when building is supposed to start.
Last thing I read was they said they thought it would be open within 2 years. These things are huge and massive. It's not like an overnight McDonald's they can build.
Yeah, there was something about, Marcia says it's blustery in Stone Mountain. Panama City had a tornado as well last weekend. Well, I didn't know that. I heard a lot about Palm Beach, but didn't hear a thing about Panama City. So, there you go. That's the way the news is around here. They said you get an area, the area of Palm Beach or the area of Panama City. And I always watch Channel 2, the West 2 News. And I said they have a certain area that they forecast for. Although they'd sell everything about Florida, but there's a certain area that they kind of close in on. And that's evidently that includes the Palm Beach area because I didn't hear a thing about Panama City.
So Jose was here today?
Yes. Oh, Mr. Rizzo made appreciation level. Well, thank you. Thank you.
It's about time
with you guys.
It's about time.
Yeah, we had a great time with you guys, and me and Kyle went shopping, and we had a lot of fun. Now,
where'd you go?
We went out to the big flea market.
You went up toward Ocala?
Yeah.
Marion Markets?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That place is massive up there.
It is. It's 1,000 booths.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny that Renninger's always advertise that they're the biggest flea market, and they have 700 and something. But the Marion markets in Marion have 1,000.
It keeps getting bigger. Every
So,
time I go up there,
I'm saying that the difference is 300 booths, but they say they're the largest.
Well, the last time I was up there, the guy told me that they had that property back there in the back where you go around the buildings over to the right.
Yeah.
He said they're talking about building more booths back there.
Really? Wow.
They were trying to figure out how to connect it. The thing that's nice about Marion Markets is once you go in one booth, all the rest of it is connected, right, under one roof?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
No, it all is. They said you go down the middle and there's finger building to the side.
Yeah, I'm usually where the beer and the hot dogs are at. Or tools. I don't really go there for any kind of good tools, trust me. But sometimes I need something for the camper, like a cheap ratchet strap to have for extra whatever, or I don't even know what. But anyway, anything they sell in there, and when it comes to tools, is Chinese crap, which I hate it. But sometimes, they got their place. Throwaway tools is what I call them.
Yeah, we went to lunch at my favorite place, my favorite restaurant. It's Francesca's in Bailey Plaza. And I really, really like that place.
I wasn't impressed with Francesca's at all. So you know.
You've never been there.
Yeah, we did one in Orlando.
Yeah, and in Orlando, but it's not like this one.
Francesca's is Francesca's.
Okay.
That's like a McDonald's is a McDonald's.
Okay. I've never took anybody there that didn't like it, so. Oh, you got that? Yeah, she got some tomatoes. Yeah, they have. That's one long aisle there is nothing but fruits and vegetables, and sometimes they come from all over the country. So you might get.
Oh yeah, first time I went down there,
ones, but they're good.
That's the thing that I told her. I said, you walk around here. I'm not from Florida. I mean, I was still working. And the first time I went there and walked around, I said, I wouldn't even know what fruit to buy around here. Because I don't even recognize some of this stuff. They had fruit in there that had
Yeah.
fuzz growing out of it. And I thought it was getting, turning rotten with the fuzz. That's just the way it grows on the tree. I seen some purple fruit with spikes on the end of it. I mean, I don't even know what half this stuff was.
Yeah. And I actually bought some mangoes the other day because we're not used to mangoes. You've heard the story about Skip's mother telling him to get some mangoes, and she meant green peppers. My mother called them mangoes too.
Ron said his mom, which is my dad's sister, said that for her whole life she called green peppers mangoes. Now, I don't know how that got started up north, but all my people in my family members and Ron's family members, apparently, Ron's my cousin, they called them mangoes.
Yeah. So I actually bought some mangoes. Mr. Rizzo brought me some mango salsa, which is very, very good, or a jam, I think, because they're from the Key West area and it's pretty prevalent down there. But I had never really tasted a mango, and so I bought some.
I hear it kind of tastes like a cross between an orange and a pineapple.
It's kind of sweet and sour both, and nice. It's kind of an odd taste. Probably not big.
Is it like a whiskey sour? Kind of sweet and sour both? Whiskey sour?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. But it's got
She
a
has
big
no sense of
seed in
humor.
it.
I'm just joking. She has no sense of humor at all. By the way, the little short I put out the other day said I hurt myself when I poop. That was just a joke. That's all it was a joke.
Oh, wow.
None of that ever happened.
Oh, my.
You haven't seen it?
I seen it, yes.
No.
I seen it. Garrett, the market is just, it's in between here and Bellevue, Kevin. It's on 441. It's not very, I can't tell you how far that is. But it's just outside the village. It's not very far.
What?
The Market Sumerian.
Probably about 15 miles.
Yeah. If you know where Camping World is, it's on the other side of Camping World.
You can't miss it when they're open. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's about halfway between here and Ocala on 27 and 441. It'll be on your left. Just follow the traffic.
And John Lumberg said they're really happy with St. John's area. His wife April and her girlfriend are at the Water Lily Pool enjoying the day. So we're moving down full time by October. Can't wait. Well, welcome.
Who is?
John Lombard. I said he's the one that's moving to St. John's. He said they'll be full time by October.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been to St. John's, but I don't think I really cruised around and looked around. I went in there to video a house, and she says I didn't video, but I did. It's a new neighborhood. That's really all I can tell you. It's just a new neighborhood. I don't even think I've seen the rec center for the St. John's area.
Yeah.
Did I?
I don't
remember passing it going in or passing it coming out.
I don't think so, no. Oh, Marcia says, mangoes are delicious to me. They're close to a peach. Yeah, that's what, when I smelled it, that's what I was thinking of. It was close to a peach, but it was a little bit more sour than I expected. Peaches are pretty sweet. And I said, the mango had kind of a bite to it. Yeah. I said, not probably on my favorite list, but it was good. It's fruit,
Phil B's in the house.
God. Wow. Yeah, I wanted. They've got some nice plants, really nice plants out there at the market.
We bought some plants out there once.
Yeah.
What did we get? Banana tree. They had over here.
Banana tree, yeah.
It was in a little pot like this big. And I asked the guy, I said, here's the thing about buying plants up there. These people may or may not know anything. But I asked, it was a lady. I asked the lady, I said, does that banana tree have bananas on it? Wrong question to ask. Because she said yes, and yes, it did. What you should ask is, does that banana tree grow edible bananas? Yeah. I didn't ask that.
We had plenty of bananas.
Oh, plenty.
But they were decorative.
Yeah.
They never turned.
Never turned yellow. They always stayed green. And after a certain amount of time, they would just rot.
Yeah.
They just, we tried everything. People say, oh, you got to cut them off, put them in a brown paper bag, hang them up in your closet for a week. We tried all this stuff. It was just a decorative banana tree. And yes, it did have bananas. We grew one here for like 3 years, the same tree grew out of 3 years.
Yeah.
There's a system you got to go through. You got to cut
And hurricane broke it.
No. Once you take a bunch of bananas off the mother plant, there's always 2 or 3 plants growing next to it. Those are the ones you leave. You cut the mother plant down, you take the bananas off, you throw that part away, the mother plant, and then next year, one of those other trees will grow and have bananas. You cut it down when you get, it goes on a cycle like that. And we did this, and we never got any bananas. And after about 3 or 4 years of it growing here, we had a storm here, and it shredded the banana tree. It'd have been fine, but I just decided that was just a good excuse to cut the whole thing out and be done with it.
And there was a big long stem that had bananas on it. So I put it in the garage. I thought maybe they'll ripen if they're in there, and they didn't. They never ripened. So we knew it was an ornamental plant. It wasn't really bananas that you eat. And no, it wasn't a plantain. It was a banana plant. So, Dan Squiglia, hi, with the recent rains, have the ponds started to recover? It doesn't seem like it made much of a difference now. I'm watching on the news, and they're saying we're not in the drought phase anymore, but we're still very low on what we should have had already. I think about 7 inches, actually less than what we should have had. And I got a feeling when June hits, it's going to make up for it, because the last 2 storms we've had that just kind of dumped water. So, but now the ponds don't look much different than they did before.
They look low.
Yeah.
All of them do. I mean, it's just not 1 or 2 of them everywhere we drive anymore around here. I don't care if we go north, south, wherever, the ponds look low. Now, keep in mind that most of the villages, maybe not all, but I know that north of 44, all of us up here, they have a system in place where they can pump water from one pond to another as they need it, for like watering golf courses or whatever the case may be. I don't know if that's true down south around the Finney area. I would assume it is the same down there as it is up here. Yeah. But I've never played golf down there enough to know if they have their pump houses. See, up here, when you play on the executive courses like Truman, you'll come to a pump house. And sometimes them pump houses are running when they're pumping water, and they're loud and they're noisy. Just a suggestion. If you're going to buy a house next to an executive golf course, make sure you don't buy a house too close to the pump house.
Yeah. Although most of them are kind of in the middle. I don't think I've seen many that was out near the houses, but
over Sherman there is. Over Sherman there is. Yeah. There's a line of houses down that one, I forget what the number is, and the pump house is right there where you tee off, and it's noisy.
Okay. John Lumber said Lake Okahumpka Rec Center worth a visit. Yes, I do want to go down there, and we have made a couple trips down there, but never really checked it out. We were on doing other things, and I noticed
Judy did for WNL.
Yeah, I know. But the cars, like I said, the parking lot is full. Every time I've been there, the parking lot's full. So they got a lot going on down there.
Well, it's going to stay full because they rent boats and stuff there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would assume, and I could be wrong here, that if they're renting boats and kayaks and stuff like that, that Lake Okahumpka Recreation Center there, where you rent the boats and whatever, it's probably open to the public. But I don't know that, because in most rec centers, you got to have a guest pass or whatever to get in, if there's somebody in there checking. But when you rent boats, do you have to go inside to rent the boat, or is there a place off to the side there? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because Lake Okahumpka, the village doesn't own that lake. I mean, I don't want people to think that, that Lake Okahumpka is always been there. Yeah. So there's boat access on the other side over there, probably by, I want to say Penasovsky, the town over there.
Penasovsky, yeah, like Penasovsky.
Maybe, I don't know, but there's access to that lake. You don't have to be in a village to have access to that lake.
But I don't know that the where the rec center is, I'm not sure whether that empties out into the regular Okahumpka or that's a man-made.
No, that's Lake Okahumpka. That lake was there before they started building anything.
Okay.
I was down there looking around.
And he says he's still waiting for Harry and the Natives restaurant to get built.
Who?
It'll be fun. They're putting in a restaurant at Lake Okahumpka. It's called Harry and the Natives. Well, it'll be kind of a snack bar kind of thing.
Is this going to be another FMK restaurant? That's all we have down here anymore.
Oh my gosh!
It's like a monopoly. They can control prices because they own it all.
Well, he's going.
Matter of fact, The original Augustine's in Spanish Springs is being taken over by FMK because that restaurant up there is going out of business.
And that's not the original August.
I said that's where the original Augustine's was at. And this was called Augustine's, taken off on the original name.
Right.
They're not making it either, and it was just announced that FMK's taking over that restaurant.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
take over everything. And that I just think that's a bad move.
Well, do you know how many places you have to eat here?
I don't care. That has nothing to do with one company having 37 different restaurants in the same town.
Well, I said, if he's the only one that make it, there's a reason.
He's not the only one that makes it. He doesn't own every restaurant in the world.
No, he owns 9.
There's other restaurant people here that are very, very good. Giovanni family.
Yes, yes.
You know why they're not in here? Probably because of rent prices. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, well, Marcia says Florida has the best avocados, better than California ones. Yes, because they're thin-skinned, and they're great for salad. Slice of Vidalia onion, and put lemon juice and olive oil, salt and pepper, green banana are good. We've never had it like that. You know, I'm big on guacamole. I love guacamole, and I've been putting the guacamole on my eggs. I kind of got used to it. I never had it with onions and.
I had avocado dip, onion chip dip of some kind. I almost threw up. It's disgusting.
Oh, really? Well,
it's a textural thing with me.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Avocado has a texture just like, ugh.
Well, that's good. You can save the rest of it for me. Marcia, slice the green banana and remove skin. It would be hard to do it. Slice and fry it until it turns light brown. Remove and place on brown paper bag. Fold over and take a plate and press to mash. That's a lot of work. For a banana, it's just a lot of work.
Fried bananas don't even sound good to me.
Well, I mean, you know, I've had a lot of.
It's a textural thing.
I know. I've had a lot of plantains. The fried plantains, I really, really like them. But like I said, I've never tried to do that with a green banana. But you never know.
I would never. If I was at a restaurant, I would never even order a green banana.
I wouldn't think that they'd have it, but yeah, the plantains are, you know,
there are certain things that I'll try if I've never had it. Like when we went down to Gloria Estefan's restaurant, I'd never had real Cuban coffee, and they said that everything in that restaurant was exactly the way it would be in Cuba if you were there.
Right.
So I said, well, I'd like to try some of that Cuban coffee. Well, I tried it. I'll probably never ever get it again, but I tried it.
John Lombard says IDs and visitor passes required for fire pit. Birthday party for all guests tomorrow at 7:30. Stop by. Okay, y'all. If you're out running around, don't have anything to do, stop by Lake Oklahoma Rec Center for their birthday party at 7:30. And Tammy loves avocados. Oh,
Rick from Georgia. I'm way behind.
Yes, Kevin, I have had the avocado oil. I've cooked in it. Not a big fan, but I mean, you know, there's so many kinds out there. It's really hard to pick one.
Kevin said it's 47 in Fort Wayne today.
Yeah, that's it.
That's still a bit chilly for me.
Yeah, it's still, you know, it's still.
That's the high. If it's 47 in a day, then what's it getting down to at night? That's always my question. What's the nighttime temperature?
Yeah.
20?
Like I said, it's still spring up there.
47 ain't spring. 47 is like this side of snow.
Yeah, do you remember having snow in June?
No, May, not June.
Well, I remember the first day of June, we had snow one year. But that's just the Indiana weather is so unpredictable. I mean, you know, it might be warm today and cold tomorrow. That's just the way it works. I used to go to work and I worked nights, third shift. And I'd go in and it would be really, really nice out one of those days where, you know, the air just felt good, felt really, really good. And come out the next morning and snow on the ground. It's just that way.
Marcia. Hello, Marcia. How far behind am I?
Always. 42 in Pittsburgh and cold. 37 in Kevin's is 37 driving to work this morning. So he's in Rhode Island. So
Driving where?
to work.
Where?
Yeah, he still works.
Where's that?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the town? Work, Rhode Island?
Yeah. You know you're supposed to be retired, Kevin. Yeah. We don't believe in that word around here.
Cindy C. from Kentucky. Rick Anderson said, how's that leg cramp? That was all a joke, Rick. I don't have no leg cramps.
Yeah.
I test the water sometimes to see who still has their sense of humor.
Oh. Well, I was going to tell you what to do about it. I have them all the time.
See, she don't have no sense of humor either.
So I never know when you're lying or not.
I'm always lying. Always remember that I'm lying all the time unless I can prove otherwise.
I do. Oh my goodness. Who are we having dinner with tomorrow? Do you remember?
No.
No. Okay. Just 1 o'clock.
It's on my email thing.
Okay.
I don't want to say who it is. He may not want his name out there.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
I'm also not going to say where we're going because then 50 people will show up. He probably wants to talk to us.
Well, we seem to like it when everybody shows up. But yeah, next week you turn another year older.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
They look at it differently. I don't care about birthdays, never did. Usually on my birthday, I always make an excuse to be gone because I don't want a birthday party. I don't want anything to do with that whatsoever. I just don't care for it. The way I see it, I'm just a year older and a year closer to death. That's what it boils down to. So, but I did tell Sue because we're going to be here this year. Actually, I've had the hankering for the last week now to take off for a while.
Really? I've been going to say that, I was going to ask you, let's go somewhere.
So anyway, we're going to take the W&L crew out to dinner. And I was going to call Phil B because he's almost like the W&L crew, see if he wanted to meet us also. But I wasn't sure exactly if it was going to be on my birthday, day before, day after. I didn't know. So Phil, I'll send you an invitation. And then if you want to come, that's fine. If you don't, no problem.
He says he has got 2 racks of ribs to be smoked. Just needs some idea of when.
No, we're going to a seafood restaurant. What are you talking about?
That's what Phil said. He had a couple racks of ribs to smoke. Just want to know when.
No, if you're talking about my birthday, Phil, we're going to go to a seafood restaurant.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. But
may not have anything. I don't understand what she's talking about.
He just likes cooking. Oh my gosh.
Phil says, not since the Patreon lunch.
Hadn't
You guys have a good time at the Patreon lunch? Because I do, and Sue does. We just sometimes feel guilty when we come home because then we realize, oh, shoot, I didn't talk to so-and-so. I didn't make my rounds around the table to talk to so-and-so. But there was no empty chairs. Everybody was there, and they were all full. And sometimes it's just hard to talk to everybody.
Oh, my. Hi, Mr. Cheeses. Haven't heard from you in a while. Remember, we was wondering last week where he'd been because we haven't heard from him. Mr. Cheeses.
Yeah, was it last week?
Yeah, I believe so. Somebody had mentioned it, and it dawned on me. No, we hadn't heard from him for a while. You been okay?
Probably messing around with that new grandbaby.
Yeah. Marcia, she says, why don't y'all do a covered dish at a rec center for Skip's day? And we did that. Did we do it for Christmas?
What are you talking about?
A covered dish.
Never did anything for me.
No,
they do nothing for me. I do everything for everybody, and they do nothing for me.
You're serious.
See, you got to test the waters once in a while to see if they're still churning.
Anyhow,
anyway,
we had a carry.
You know what that's code when they go anyhow, anyway, whatever. That's code for I'm not listening.
Move on.
I'm not listening to you anymore.
But like I said, we had a carry-in at the rec center. She called it covered dish, but
it wasn't for me.
No, it wasn't for you.
It was a Patreon lunch.
That's what she's saying, that we should do a covered dish for your birthday.
No, I don't want that.
No,
No.
because I ain't
I,
drinking.
I just a small little get together with special people and the W&L crew. You guys don't know, but the W&L crew puts up with so much of my crap. And setting up that W&L show, that's why we haven't done it for a long time. It's a lot of work. I
Yeah.
mean, it is. It takes up a lot of time and a lot of effort, and so we'll just go out that way. Those people know me as my joke. I'm not sure Judy understands me joking around. She seems too serious to me, doesn't she? She just seems too serious.
She's never sure.
She just stares at me a lot.
Oh, and Phil did explain. He says you commented at the Patreon lunch that you were ready for some ribs because it's been a while. That's what it was. So he said he had a couple racks.
I was
Just let
talking
him
about
know.
going to my favorite rib place.
Yeah.
I ain't
Well,
been up there in a long time.
and Bill B says he looks forward to the Patreon lunch. Yeah, like I said, we had a good time last time. I am really surprised, and we tried out Cane Gardens because and I'm going through all of the country clubs. Like I said, next will be, I think next on the list is Orange Blossom, and that's the last one.
No, it
Um,
ain't the last one. You ain't been. We haven't been to Arnold Palmer's.
yes, we have.
No, we have not. Not with this. Not with this thing. We ain't. All right. When was we there and what did I eat?
Oh my gosh.
We wasn't there.
Yeah, we're trying out all the country clubs
Yeah, we did too.
anyhow.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. We ate outside. We had tablecloths on the table.
right.
Yeah, we did. See, I
And
told you we was.
Lopez, we've been to all of them except for Orange Blossom. That's the last one.
No, we haven't been to all these country clubs.
Yes, we
There's like
have.
13 of them. We ain't been, we haven't been to Havana.
Yes, we have.
Hmm. I didn't think we'd had Patreon. Look, if we have go to every other month have a Patreon lunch, and there's 13 of them, that means it'd take us 2 years to get to all of them.
Well, how long do you
We
think we've
haven't been
been?
having Patreon lunches for 2 years,
Well,
have we?
yeah, we have. Because
Have we been over to Belglade? Been
yes,
to Bonifay?
yes,
Evans Prairie?
yes.
Huh. Maybe.
I know what I'm doing, and I said the last one is Orange Blossom, and because I remember Jose saying, "Oh, you're in my neck of the woods," so yeah, we'll be in your neck of the woods, Jose.
At one time here in the villages, when Spanish Springs was really the only square there was, let me tell you, Orange Blossom Gardens, the restaurant up there, whatever it was called back then, and I don't remember, had probably one of the best buffets anywhere in the villages. Because when we rented a house up there for a week, we asked people, so where does everybody go for lunch or whatever? And the guy said, just follow the traffic. It goes over to the country club over there. And that place was people from everywhere would go over there because they had the best. And over the years, it's all changed. Remember the guy at the swimming pool that had the hot tub up there? I can't remember the name of the pool.
Yeah.
But anyway, every Sunday there was a resident there. He was a chef at one of the restaurants. It might have been Orange Blossom. He did a $5 lunch thing at that pool. They had like a little covered area there. I don't even know what you call it, a pavilion, kind of like as part of the pool. And for $5, you went up there for a pork chop dinner. You got pork chops, and they had things on a table that you could put on your plate, like potato salad, this and that, and everything else. And it was like one of the most popular things there.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago, guys. Don't try to do that today because it wouldn't fly today. I'm pretty sure. Unless it'd probably be a lot
Well, I don't
more
know
than
why,
$5.
because that gas grill is part of that pavilion. It's permanently there for the residents to use.
I know, but selling those dinners is
Oh, for $5, no,
yeah, yeah, that's
I'm
against
going
the
back
rules. Yeah,
a couple of days.
yeah,
But my point is, the atmosphere of that whole area up there, with the restaurant being the way it was, and who owned it at that time, and the people that lived there and had their own little deals going on, and all this and that. The atmosphere of that up there, and the way that historic area is built, there are no through streets. You'll not see a UPS come in there and cut through your neighborhood to get to the UPS store on the other side of the neighborhood.
yeah,
That neighborhood is kind of blocked off from the world and kind of protected, and I always kind of like that.
yeah. But it's a real nice area, and you know how things change. You know, after a few years, the restaurant went downhill, changed owners, um, got put back up again. And I said, I think the last time I was there, Deb and I went, and we had a good time there, had good food and everything. So I think they've kind of turned the corner. Thought the same thing about King Gardens. I heard so many bad things about King Gardens, and Ira, Ira told me that they got their stuff together, and so that's why I went ahead and had the lunch there, and everything was really really good. They got a new manager. Seemed like they're doing really well. They need to teach somebody how to use the pizza oven. Other than that, everything went really good. We had good waitresses and everything. Nice area. So I said, we'll see what Orange Blossom is. I think the next Patreon lunch is in June. And so we'll.
Me and Bill B got the pizza because they had a brick oven there. And it ain't just my opinion. Bill's on here. He'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you. My pizza was disgusting. And I sent it back and told him it was disgusting.
Yeah. Mr. Cheese is coming down to Disney in 32 days. Well, good for you. Like to be, it's a nice time.
He's going where?
To Disney.
That could be a problem. Disney's been putting out reports every day in the last week and a half that I don't know what's going on down there, that they are so crowded that now you have to like make reservations to ride rides. Or if you want to get in the fast lane to get on a ride, it's $20 per person to get in the fast lane.
Yeah, they've made some changes since COVID because they're getting so many people coming. People were pent up for a long time, and so they're just now getting out and stuff. So last year and this year, they really had a big crowd. But you'll have fun. I mean, there's so much there. But like I said, in 32 days, it's going to be pretty warm. I mean, it's beautiful right now. But like I said, 32 days, it's going to be in the 90s. So come prepared. Bring your sunscreen, the big hat. And
Kevin says it's 55 degrees over there where he's at. Hell, it's warmer on the East Coast than it is in Indiana.
And Iron 12 says, coming in July for lifestyle visit. What fun stuff do you recommend? Well, there's just so many things. So what fun stuff do you recommend for somebody coming down for the lifestyle?
Here? Mm-hmm. Well, number one is golf. If you're going to come in a lifestyle visit, they'll give you some free golf passes at a country club. Right. Shoot, get together with somebody. Go up. Two things: go up and play yourself a little bit of golf, and after the game, go to the country club while you're there and have yourself a beer and a burger. Before you go home.
Yeah, and if you're worried about not having anybody to play with, if you go up to the starter shack, they'll team you with somebody, so you won't have to worry about that. But one of the things that I always recommend is the trolley tour. The trolleys take you around all the areas that, like I said, ones that they're building in and ones that's already built. I think there's 3 of them now.
Boat ride.
Yeah, and the boat ride. The boat ride, I said,
it's just fun.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. You're right on Lake Sumter there, and it's not a big lake. But the guys on the boat are very good storytellers, and you always have a good time. And it's kind of a nice. It only costs a couple bucks, and it's kind of nice to be out on the water and with the breeze and everything. And I said you'll like it. Let me see what else.
Beer.
God.
Go to Beer World and spend a day in there and try every beer from around the world.
Yeah. Check out all the rec centers. The rec centers here are beautiful. And
regional rec centers.
All of them are beautiful, but the regional.
He's only a week. He ain't got time. We got 400 rec centers. You ain't got time for all that. Well, but regional rec centers, you can do that in half a day.
Yeah.
You go visit them.
Yeah, and they are.
Like and the number one rec center is Eisenhower. Got to go there.
Are we done? Are we done?
About what?
Nothing. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. That's true. The time goes so quick. A week is just not enough time to do everything. But that will give you a tip if you hit those regional rec centers and check out some of the sports that they do here at the sports pool and the pickleball courts. They've got softball. They even have the what do they call the RC boats, RC cars. Uh, they just have a little bit of everything. So
If you're
pick your
considering
fun.
buying a house here, you know, you're going to have a few days where you can go do your thing. Go to the square at night, obviously, and that kind of stuff. Out and eat some dinner and everything else. But check out whatever it is you're interested in doing when you retire. If you want to do golf, check it out. If you want to do billiards, they have massive billiard tournaments around here. You can join the billiard clubs, different ones. Then check that out. Snooker, if you'd like to do snooker, they have a snooker tournament and clubs here. Check it out. So whatever it is you're interested in, that's what I suggest you do.
Yeah. But now, if you know, if you're interested in doing a game of pickleball um, or something on that order, don't wait till the last minute and think you're going to go up to a pickleball court and just join in. That it doesn't happen that way. Every Thursday in the Daily Sun is a magazine that's the for the all the clubs and organizations that they got here for that week. And I said, you can kind of go through that. And I said, it comes in the paper, but you can also get it at the rec centers. And I said, it'll tell you all the stuff that's happening that week. And I said, if you're interested in line dancing or, they said, pickleball, fishing clubs, they have all that stuff in there. And I said, they will give you the times, and usually give you a phone number who you can call to tell them that that you want to do something like that, because a lot of times people come down here and they only have a week. And I said, you got to take pickleball 101, I think, before they actually let you play. So it's not something that you can go in today and say, I want to play. So think about that before you come down. If you come for the lifestyle, then of course the realtors will tell you all that stuff, and they'll give you a tip on how to do it quicker. But if it's not a lifestyle, just a rental, then yeah, go get the rec news and find out what's going on.
There's a story about this over here. I'll tell you when he's gone.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, Kathy B says when they were on lifestyle visit, the two ladies from the rec department taught us how to play bocce and shuffleboard. Yeah, they're very what do you call it? Very, very friendly, and they want to help. You know, they want you to learn that kind of stuff.
They want you to buy a house.
Yeah, they want you to buy a house.
They'll do whatever they have to get you to buy a house.
Yeah, and you got to do boozy bingo at McGrady's.
You do what?
Boozy bingo.
Oh, I haven't done anything down there. I went to McGrady's one day. I knew about the price. Everybody was talking about the price, everything. It was really high. This is during COVID, so today that might be different. Anyway, we down there. Always down there for the grand opening of Sawgrass. That's what it was. And so while we were there, I told Sue, I said, well, let's go over here at McGrady's, and I'm going to get a burger and a beer. I want to check this place out. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never been there. So we went in there, and I got a burger and a beer, and it was a little pricey. I think it was like, I want to say, I guess it depends on where you're from. A burger and a beer was like $20, I think, something like that, which is a little pricey compared to other places. But I got to tell you, and I only had one, that was the best burger next to O'Shucks. That was the best burger and fries. The fries were fresh. They weren't out of a bag or whatever that I think I've had in the villages.
Yeah, and I said, you get what you pay for, and I said everybody complains about the prices, but if it's good, But there's other things in Sawgrass. They've got a pizza place in there. They've got a fish place, and I think it's fast food, but still. Then they've got a sweet shop where you can get cookies and cupcakes and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's not just McGrady's down there, but it is something to visit. They have entertainment now down there at night, and then I said it's the big thing until they get the new square built. A lot of people go there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're having trouble down there already. I don't know how long I've been open with that entertainment. A couple months now, maybe something like that. They're already going to spend $100,000 and some to replant plants down there because people are parking their golf carts where they're not supposed to be parking them. You know, and when
Yeah.
you drive around, when you hear long enough, and it may sound like some people complains a lot to you as an outsider because you don't see things. They're really not. They're just pointing out things that they know. I did that when I was walking around. I told Sue, I said, look at that. I said, people be parking their golf carts over here on the grass because it's the closest thing to the stage. They don't want to walk. They don't want to walk from this parking lot where we had to park. And I said, going in, I said, this parking lot ain't big enough and it's weird.
Ah,
Didn't
But
I say that?
yeah,
And so I proved my point. Now,
but it is big enough. You just have to park
it's
farther.
not big enough because that's when they hadn't even sold houses there yet. Now they've sold houses. So now you go down there, if you go down there at the wrong time, I guarantee you're going to be parking over at the Azale Rec Center and walking over to this place because there's that parking lot for the Sawgrass
Yeah.
area isn't big enough.
Yeah. Let's see.
They did the same thing when they started that very first pitching putt,
Yeah.
and it's been a problem till this day.
Yeah. Okay. Leon Schultz is coming down next weekend to see my daughter. She's taking us to Keel and Curly's for lunch. Have you ever been there? No, I haven't even heard of it, Leon. Whereabouts is that at?
I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah, yeah, I have not heard that name.
That's apparently it's not here.
Well, no, not that I know of.
I mean, it could be in the villages, but not here. Like the Buffalo Ridge Shopping Center
Yeah.
or something up there, maybe. I don't know.
Like I said, I've not heard that name, period. So, and
What's the name of it?
let's see, Keel and Curly's. You know,
Keel. How do you
Keel,
spell Keel?
Keel.
I'm going to Google it.
Okay. Okay, Marcia wants to know how far do you have to drive to go deep sea fishing while visiting the villages? Well, you know, if you're going on your own, it's probably an hour and a half
Where?
to go deep sea fishing.
Oh.
But they have a deep sea fishing club here in the villages.
Keel?
Yeah, and they take trips. I don't know how often they take trips, but they take trips out to an ocean area and take the fishing trips and what have you. I think they do it every month, but I'm not sure. When you get down here, you just have to call them and ask. But it'll be in the rec news. Okay. Hey, this Mindy.
Well, if I'm seeing this right, Keel and Curly is a winery, and it's in Plant City. It's not even here.
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's that winery we went to.
Well,
Outside entertainment and
could been. It was pouring down rain, so we
we were just looking for a place to
get.
get out of the rain and messing around. We was visiting our granddaughter. She lives over by Plant City. And we went to this winery. They had a band going outside. They had something on the inside. And we had, I think, lunch in there. I don't remember what it was. It's a nice place.
Yeah.
But it was raining so hard we couldn't really walk around.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about Florida rain. It dumps rain. I mean, it doesn't just rain.
Because they had a petting zoo,
rain.
I think, or something back there in the
Yeah,
back.
they had a lot of
things. We couldn't get back there.
Yeah. And you can get special coffee, I think.
Let me look here. I bet that's the same place.
Could be.
But it's not here in the villages, just so you know.
KM says, hello, friends, late to the porch. Have family in town. We are at the beach on Hutchinson Island. I forgot my earbuds to hear you. Oh, I've never been to Hutchinson Island. Is it nice out there?
Where?
Hutchinson Island.
Where?
Hutchinson Island.
I don't even know where that is.
Anyhow, KM, were you not in Germany last week? That's a pretty good piece to drive for the day. Now you're at Hutchinson Island. Cool. And that's one nice thing is where we're at. We're kind of in the center of Florida, and we can be to the ocean an hour and a half either direction. And it may not be that long, but most of the time that's where I think it is. Depending on how you go, it's like an hour and a half to either coast.
Hey, kiddos. That's what Sidney Rollins said.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, kiddos. Desmindy. Well, compared to the D.C. area where I live, it all seems better prices than I'm used to. Yeah, it depends where you're at. Price of things is relative. Different kind of foods is all relative. The price of homes are relative. I get emails all the time. I'm not sure what the point of the emails are, but I don't comment on them. But somebody will send me an email going, "Oh, them crackerback," or no, they call them where one house looks like another. What do they call that? There's a name for that. Anyway, they make fun of our houses down here, say they all look the same. Well, if you live here, you'll see the difference. If you don't live here, then maybe you don't see the difference. And they'll say things, and they're way overpriced, and they're not built correctly. And if you've never been here, my question would be is, how do you know they're not built correctly? You don't know because you've never been here to see one. And they're way overpriced and blah, blah, blah. Well, way overpriced. That's relative compared to what? Buying an apartment house for $2 million downtown New York City? I mean, if you got to be really realistic. It's not overpriced here.
Yeah.
And this is what I say all the time when people say they compare things here to, say, Chicago, or they compare it to wherever. You can't do that because Chicago is not a retirement community. It's also not in Florida. If they're selling 250 brand new homes every month, and they have for the last 10 years that I know of, and they're selling, this is just a Village's real estate company, and they're selling 250 pre-owned homes every month, and they have for the last 10 years. That doesn't count the outside real estate companies and what they sell. That tells us that our prices are not out of line, or they would not be selling those homes like that. That's all I'm saying. If you can't afford it, that's fine. But you can't say they're out of line.
Yeah, Manshaw says that's the right place. That winery, yeah.
Is that the same place?
He said that's the right place.
Yeah, that's it. And we were there. It's not too far from my granddaughter's, actually.
Yeah.
It's a nice. I mean, actually, if we ever go down there again, I'll probably get my granddaughter and my granddaughter's son-in-law. What do you call them? I get confused.
Your husband.
I know, but what is that to me? If she's my granddaughter, what does that make her husband to me? There's a name.
Grandson-in-law? I don't know.
That's what I said. Grandson-in-law. I don't know. We'll take him over there for lunch. He doesn't drink at all.
Yeah.
Jesse doesn't drink at all.
Yeah.
So the idea of having a glass of wine is not for them.
No.
It is for me. I'll drink about a bottle if it's good.
Yeah.
Remember when we was in, I think we was in Arizona, and we're Harvest Host members in the camper, and Sue found this place on Harvest Host. I like to go out like 250 miles, 300 miles a day, find a place, and that's where we're going to be for the day. And I like to get there like around dinner time or maybe a little bit before dinner time. So we're out looking for this place. I put the address in my GPS, and I'm just following the GPS. Mine is set for the shortest and or quickest route, whatever that is. So we're out like that, on this side road.
In the desert.
There's just like nothing there. And I got kind of worried. I had a full tank of gas, so I was okay. I was kind of worried. I said, man, I don't know where we're going here. Pretty soon we get to this winery. And it's got like a 50-acre desert parking lot, huge. The building is huge. They had a restaurant there. And this little area where this restaurant was at, I swear to you, it almost looked like we was in Italy. They had it all with the trees, and they had the yard all decorated and everything.
It was an oasis. It just was really beautiful right on that spot.
It was the coolest Harvest Host winery we've ever been at, I think. Mm-hmm. And we sat outside. They came out and talked to us for a while. Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. We had a glass of wine that was probably some of the best. What kind of wine do I drink? Moscato. I know a lot of wine people tell you Moscato's not a wine, but anyway, that's what we drink. And she brought a bottle out, and we're drinking it. It was chilled. And we both agreed that, man, this is some of the best Moscato I think I've ever had.
Yes, yes.
So we had 2 bottles.
And then we staggered back to the camper.
Yeah. Well, we was in the parking lot. We weren't going anywhere.
Well, I said it was funny because he was trying to take video for you guys.
Yeah, you can watch that video this day. I think when I started the video, I even sound like I'm half shit-faced.
And I don't think he even got a picture of the winery. He took a picture of the grass and the trees and the parking lot. But yeah, it was one of the best places that we've been to.
Just having a good time, that's all.
Oh, and John Lombard says, you were right about the missing concrete edging on the golf cart paths down south. I hate to tell him that he's right. You know what happens when you do that.
I just notice things, that's all. I'm not putting it down. I'm not pointing blame. What I'm trying to do is help people know things, because around here, when Once a developer turns that area over to that district, whatever district that is, we got to pay for it now out of our pockets, and that's why our amenity fees keep going up every year because of this action. So when that golf cart trail on the edges starts flaking off, here's what's going to happen. You can mark my word. They're going to start saying, well, the section between here and there is starting to flake apart, and the golf cart trails are looking bad, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have a study to find out if we need to replace this golf cart trail. That's going to cost us $100,000 for that study. Then they're going to come out and say, okay, we recommend this or that, and that curbing and all that, the ribbon. Well, then they're going to say it's going to be $1 million a mile, and we need 10 miles put in, and we have to pay for it. And I'm saying, if it's not installed correctly while it's under the developer's control, jump his butt now.
Yeah. Yeah, get it fixed before they turn it over to your CDD, and you have to pay for it. So while they still own it, I said, have them do it right.
And I see that's the first thing I noticed was that ribbon. And I've had several guys down there saying, oh, yeah, we have ribbon. It's around here. It's ribboned around the bridges and tunnels. I don't know if that's a law or not, but I noticed that. But on the normal 2-mile stretch of golf cart path that gets you from point A to point B, there's no ribbon there. And you go anywhere up through here and drive around, it's ribboned everywhere. And I've been here 10 years, and our golf cart trails has not failed. They're still there. They're not flaking apart. And yours, it's been, 2 or 3 years now, and I can take you down there and show you golf cart trails that's falling apart now.
And Desmindy says that she'll be in the Villages on Saturday the 13th to get together with her cousin on their way back from Disney. Desmindy?
Oh, yeah, but she's a Disney nut. They'll be going down to Disney.
And they want to eat lunch at Lopez. Good choice.
Yeah, Lopez is a nice place.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of the best out of the country clubs. It's kind of the best, I think. Kathy B said, if you just want to try pickleball, there are 2 courts at the Cattail Rec Center in Marsh Bend that don't seem to get used that much. You can get paddles and balls in the closet at the pool.
If you go to the Rec News, and you may not have to do that at all there, but the Rec News will show you in there what pickleball courts are reserved for clubs. They reserve certain hours, certain days to play their games, whatever they are. And then there'll be certain hours every day that's open. That means anybody can just show up. And if you go there and it's open, just go into the little clubhouse that's there, and then there's all the equipment, balls, paddles, and stuff. Just make sure you put it back. People are so bad about just leaving balls laying all over the pickleball courts, and somebody's got to pick all them up.
Yeah.
So just put stuff back, and you're good to go.
But that's what I said. If you've never done it before, the pools and the pools have these little closets that they keep your pickleball paddles in and horseshoes, and if you want to play horseshoes, and I'm sure all the other stuff that you need equipment for. Like I said, they're in those little closets, and they're open, when the pool is open. So you just go in and get those and try it out. But you got to be mindful of all the clubs that use the courts and what have you, because they have certain times that they're there. So you have to do it in the off times.
Kevin Jockway wants to know if you've tried avocado oil.
Yeah, like I said, I have. It's not my favorite, but I have tried it.
My favorite oil so far is she's got some kind of, and you can't use it for everything. I've tried. There are some things that just makes it kind of taste disgusting, but in some cases, though, I like it. It's an olive oil with lemon in it, and it gives a little bit of a lemon flavor to whatever food you're cooking. And I have made pasta and took this olive oil and just sprinkled it straight over top of the pasta. It don't take very much, and it puts like just this slight lemon flavor to it, and I really like it.
Yeah, and I just, I don't care to cook in the lemon oil. I don't like that lemony taste for most everything. There's a few things it's good on, but most everything I really don't care for it. But he does. So
I don't cook that much, so it lasts a long time.
KM says she was in Germany, returned on Sunday. So Hutchinson Island is a half hour from her house in Port St. Lucie. So you come for a visit, I'll take you around. That's a deal.
Where are we going?
I'd like to see it. The Hutchinson Island.
I don't even know where that is.
Well, she just said a half hour from her house in Port St. Lucie.
I'm not real sure where Port St. Lucie is.
We'll use the GPS.
I think it's. I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't know.
Right. And cookie cutter houses. Is that what you was trying to say?
Yeah, cookie cutter houses.
Yeah.
So that's what they call them. And I know to the outside eye, it probably does look that way. And if you go to some of the older neighborhoods, like the patio villa areas, I always said it kind of looks like an army barracks because every house looks exactly alike, the exact same everything on the outside. Now, the inside can have a different floor plan. Some have high ceilings, some don't. But I'm just saying, when you first look at it, it almost looks like an army barracks where all the family lives. So you do get that. Now, that being said, if you go down to the newer area where we did that house for sale, that was a patio villa. And I did a picture of the neighborhood. Look at that neighborhood of patio villas and compare that to the old army barracks looking neighborhoods. A total 100% turnaround.
Right.
That down there is a much, much better deal, but I'm sure that a price increase comes along with that.
Well, yeah. But I mean, the price increased everywhere. That's the thing that gets me. Even the old ones, the price increased, not just the new.
Oh yeah, the patio villa we sold for 190 today. They're probably getting close to 300.
Yeah.
I can't believe that, but they are.
Because people want to be here.
Well, our patio villa was probably worth a little bit more. Well, we got more then, not compared to today, but back then we got more than what the average one was then because of the location compared to Lake Sumter. Everybody loved Lake Sumter. We do. We still do. Sue would walk down to Lake Sumter every morning for two things. You're going to laugh. She would walk down there so she could go to the downtown live camera thing they got down there every morning, and she would wave to the kids.
Yeah, they were getting ready for work, so I'd wave at them when I got down there every day.
Then they turn their computers on just to see mom waving. Then she'd go to Starbucks, get her coffee across the street. Then she'd walk behind Haagen-Dazs ice cream place, I think it is, and they got these Adirondack chairs. What do you call them?
Adirondack.
Yeah, those. And she'd sit back there and drink her coffee and catch up on her stuff.
Yeah, and they,
and then walk back home.
The radio station used to be in there. I don't know if it still is or not. It's hard to keep track. They moved it from Spring Springs to Lake Sumter, and I don't know if it's still in Lake Sumter or not. Last few times I've been there, I haven't seen anybody in there. It was all automated, so but it was a nice little area. You could sit and watch, look at the water, and nice early in the morning, and watch the animals and drink my coffee, and then make my trek back to the house. So
ooh, that sounds good.
What's that?
Kyle Rizzo says, for your information, the blueberry cheese crumb cakes have vacated the oven.
Ah!
I don't know if I've ever had that, but that sounds good.
Oh, yeah. Mark Sears, $5. Well, thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. I haven't got that far down there yet.
You're always mine.
Well, I read each and every comment. I don't like to miss any of them. Kevin says, how's our internet service? Kevin, I can tell you that once we kind of got things zeroed in, that's me, because I change things around and then I forget the password and I didn't write it down. And then Sue has it written down. I got to go get the password and get things, anyway. Once we got all that set up, matter of fact, he's gone now. The guy that he gave me his card, he says, call me about anything. Well, when they came out there and they hooked the next door neighbor's cable up, he broke that box and he just left it. I mean, that's poor workmanship when they do that. Well, all the cables are hanging out there, and I'm thinking animals can get in there and chew on this stuff, make a bird's nest in there. Who knows? So I sent him a text. The guy that came out here.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, hey, and I sent a picture. I went and took a picture of it, and I said, look there. Sloppy work from Spectrum. I recommended Spectrum to our neighbor. He got it, and I says, and this is the kind of work that we can expect? This is terrible. He sent me a text back. He said, I'm going to turn a work order and get that taken care of. And the guy showed up today.
I did not know this, but yeah, like I said, I haven't seen the one on the other end.
But anyway, since we got it zeroed in, I've got high speed now. I got a gigabyte of speed. I don't have 110 megabytes like I used to have, 100 megabytes, blah, blah, blah. And then when it goes down to 20 megabytes, because everybody gets on it, gets crowded. Since we've had this high speed, which we're paying for, I think it's like
We're paying less than we were for the other.
I know, but we're not getting this $24.95 stuff that they advertise. For the first year, I think we are getting it for $44.95. I think. Am I wrong?
I don't even remember.
I think so. And then after 1 year, it goes up to $69.95 or something. And then he said, then you can play the game and go back and forth to Comcast. That's what everybody does. I'm not that way. If it's working well, I'm not going anywhere. I don't like to reprogram everything.
But you all know what we're talking about, because every 2 years it seems like your service falls off, and so you go to the competitor because the competitor's offering you more for a smaller price. But it happens like every 2 years. I don't get it. Don't know why, but just as soon as we changed the spectrum, then they started coming out with the, I don't know, it was, instead of the 1 gig, it was like 16 gigs or something like that. But like I said, we've been really happy with what we got, and I really didn't want to change because I don't like change that much.
But with the WNL show, that was a problem with WNL show. Sometimes on the old internet, it would freeze, it would get fuzzy because the connection wasn't good. And it was just frustrating as hell to me to do all this work, and then right before the show, this stuff happens, and everybody blames me for it, and I'm not in control of that. So and I didn't mind paying the price to have good connection. So, and I told this guy about it, and I told him straight out. I said, if this isn't any good after paying this, I'm telling you right now, I will tell people on my YouTube channel, and I'll do it on WNL, and I will show them how bad this is.
Yeah.
He gives me his card. And he says, let me know what your YouTube channel is. I'm going to watch. Well, so far, it's been pretty good. We haven't had that much trouble at all. And she says that, I don't know how, I guess the connection is better to the point that she said on her TV, where she has her TV, I have mine, and hers is a Roku TV. And she says the color even seems better.
Yeah. But it's so nice to have that one person you can call. You don't have to go through 50 hours of telephones to get a real person. We have that one person we can call. And so far, I don't know how long it'll last. The poor guy probably gets called all the time, but so far he has stepped up to the plate.
He came out here and fixed this.
Yeah, he stepped up to the plate every time. And I said, we're happy with what we got now. Yeah. Okay, we need to move on. Hey, Chief, the village's chief. How are you doing, kiddo? Are you? I've watched some of your videos, and I said, hang in there. There's so many of us now. It's hard. It's hard to come up with content, but I think you get around a little bit more than we do. So hopefully, I said you can continue. KM says Germany was fantastic and beautiful. Went to many places in the 10 days. The reason she went was her daughter married a German guy. Well, I said, I've always, what I've seen of it, it's always been a really, really nice area. And I said, my cousin lives in Friedenberg, and that's not, that's not a name you hear all the time. And so I had to look it up to actually see where it was. And it's on the border of, I think it's on the border of Belgium, or pretty close to there anyhow. And it just looked like a beautiful area. And I'm glad you're back.
Dan,
the wedding was probably beautiful.
Dan, I can't pronounce the last name, says, with the recent rains, have the ponds started to recover? Well, first of all, what recent rains?
We had some rain for a couple of days.
But nothing.
Yeah, it was substantial at night. We had storms. You slept through it.
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, the ponds haven't recovered. I'm sure they did a little bit, but not enough to notice.
No, and I said a while ago, no, they look the same as they did. Although
they're down.
We're not in the drought area now. I think we're just next to it, but we got enough rain that we're not in the drought area, according to the Wish 2 News. Anyhow.
So we know the news is always correct.
Yes. Yes. And did we say thank you to Mark Sears?
To Mark who?
Sears. He gave us a $5.
You said thanks to somebody.
Okay.
I ain't got down that far yet.
Now that's Mark from Michigan, right? Yeah, Mark Sears. Yeah, because we got a Mark Berry here too. And he says thank you, Mark.
Jerry Bell says, hey, Uncle Phil.
Hey, Ford guy.
Hey, Ford guy. While you're on here, I assume he's still on here because I ain't got down that far yet. I found another box of stuff for your the short shelves, the short ones. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't know what's in them, but I do know some of the things in the box are little things that they gave us to hook in the shelf to make the shelves at an angle. Sue used them short shelves, put shoes on. And so that's what we used them for. You might use them for something else. But anyway, I've got the brackets for that to make the shelves sit at an angle. And they're in a box out there. So next time you're here, come on over and I'll give them to you.
Yeah. And KM drank a lot of wine in Germany. Well, they got some pretty good wine over there. I do know that.
They have better beer.
They have better beer. Yeah. And Marcia says Port St. Lucie is by Fort Pierce. That doesn't help him because he doesn't know where Fort Pierce is.
I think that's on the Atlantic side.
No.
I think Fort Pierce is on the Atlantic side.
Oh, well, okay.
Am I correct?
I don't know.
Further south on the Atlantic side? Or am I
Port St. Lucie is on the Gulf
Or am I all wet? See what I've done there? Am I all wet on the Atlantic side? But never
Lord.
mind.
Desmini said the brand new patio villa community down south reminded her of Fort Meade. You know why? Skip's mom and dad used to live in Fort Meade. They lived in Fort Meade, but they were in a retirement trailer park, kind of. So
back then, that was pretty much the retirement parks here. They were all trailer parks.
Yeah.
Our historic side was that.
Right.
It was typical.
The few times we've been to Fort Meade, like I said, we haven't really seen. We went looking for the place that they used to live a long time ago. And I said, we looked for it and couldn't actually find it. It's turned into a regular trailer park. I don't think it's a 55 plus community anymore. They had some beautiful churches though. And then there, like I said, right on the main street was a restaurant called Skip's Place. I remember that.
I don't know if it's still there or not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still there or not.
Because the town ain't that big, but it's gotten bigger since my dad and them was there. Because now it's a dual lane highway going through there.
Yeah.
Back then it was a 2-lane road. And I do know that where Dad's trailer park was at, whatever you want to call it, they didn't have 55 plus communities, but it was old people. Most of it was Canadians, because I met a bunch of them. And not too far behind his place was this old farm that raised fighting chickens. And they all talked about it, that on the weekends in that barn, they would fight chickens in there. Which is against the law, but that's just what they did. So, I mean, over the years, it's changed a lot. There was a funeral home not too far from there, which made the older people feel good. And Mom and them used to walk down to the town to where the hardware store, Skip's restaurant. I don't even know some other stuff.
That's the one that has the train in the park.
I don't even remember. I mean, I didn't live there. We would stop by and visit because it was a free place for me to stay while we took the kids over to Disney World, which is a little bit of a drive too. But so I don't really know the area that well.
Yeah. And Kathy B says that that's how she felt when they were showing her houses in Duluth.
What's that?
They're like they look like reminded her of Fort Meade.
Fort Meade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now these are the houses that are the prefab, basically prefab cement slab homes. That's
I don't know anything about them. But I do know. I don't know anything about how they do it or long terms of them. I do know that the cement slab walls and stuff that people are talking about, that's nothing new. They've been doing that in Indiana for 20 or 30 years that I know of. So it's a developed process. My only question that I've got about it is all concrete cracks. It just does, because over time it shrinks and it cracks.
Right.
So I'm just wondering on these prefab walls, what happens after 10 years, after 20 years, the maintenance of it? Does the walls crack around the windows? I don't know. I mean, time will tell, I suppose.
Yeah. William says, who are you guys doing this show with? The writer's strike ongoing. Well, we don't write anything down, William.
I go say, do you watch me very often? I don't have no scripts. No, I wing it.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that because we don't write anything down.
Ask any of the girls on the W&L show. They don't even know what the game is until we get to it.
Yeah.
We wing it.
And Kathy B says all the houses were the same outside, especially the ones without a lanai on the back. And there wasn't any individualized landscaping yet. It was in Frank's video recently, maybe Newell. Yeah, I don't know what that area was called. And it does look poorly until they get some landscaping, and they do a very minute amount of landscaping, and so people move in and do their own. And it doesn't take long, really.
That's really what makes a neighborhood is when people start doing their own landscaping.
Our growing season here is a lot quicker than it is up north, and so, you know, little bitty things can by next year could to be a wall. That's just how it grows here.
Well, just like our little hedge back here, I keep it about 4 feet. It might push 4.5 a time or two, but generally about 4 feet. That is the rule here. 4 feet hedges is all you're allowed, unless it's hedges put in by the developer in special places. Then those have an exception; they can be taller. But anyway, ours is at 4 feet, and I even thought about it one time, just taking them out because I was shocked at how fast some of this stuff grows.
Yeah.
And we got to trim this thing. It just seems like every other during the growing season, which is starting now, we got to trim this thing like every other month.
Yeah.
And when I do it myself and it's 90 degrees outside, it ain't the trimming part. It's everything that goes with it. You got to rake off all the dead stuff or all the stuff you just trimmed that falls down in it. You got to rake it out, rake it up and put it in a bag. So she found this guy that does it. I suspect he's an illegal. I suspect, because he demands cash, no credit, no check, cash. But he does a great job. I will say that.
Yeah, he does, and they've actually seen the job that he's done. You videoed it.
Did I?
Yes. But anyhow, Ford guy said he'll probably see you at the end of June, so he's not here right now.
Well, I got that box of stuff out there. Just make sure I'm here.
And I've actually got some in the laundry room closet too, because I was going to put it back up, but I realized there's nowhere to put it.
Rick Anderson says, pretty sure the leg cramps will start on your next birthday.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm surprised he even has birthdays anymore, you know. Yeah, Fort Pierce is on the Atlantic side. That's right. I hate to say he's right.
What's that?
Fort Pierce is on the Atlantic side.
Told you.
Well, yeah, that's why I hate to say he's right. Bill from Long Island here. Sure seems like there is no slowdown with the expansion and building there. How do residents like yourselves feel about this and the new family areas being done?
I have my feelings about it, but it's just my feelings, and everybody's got their own. If you come from New York City and you come down here during snowbird season, see how our traffic is and everything, you probably wouldn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
Because I've been in New York City. This is nothing compared to that. And I'm just using that as an example. I'm not picking on New York, even though New York needs to be picked on. But I'm not picking on New York. But if you're from Midwestern area, you know, outside of a big city, like, I don't know, you got Indianapolis, and that's really the biggest city in Indiana. Evansville would probably be the next big one, which I don't know if anybody lives in Evansville anymore.
No, they're all down here.
Yeah. But you come down here, then this traffic and things here is like, you know, and when you think of a retirement community in the back of your mind, you have this picture, you're thinking of what a retirement community is. And then when you come down to the villages, this is not going to be your typical retirement community. It's not. It's setting the standard for every, and we're not even called a retirement community anymore to get down to it. We're called a 55 plus. And those are different rules. Yeah. I'm not sure I agree with these rules. I'm not sure if the rules are actually being followed, truthfully. They may be, but there's no way of really knowing. I personally think as a retirement community, I think as a community, it's a great place to live. It's a great place to do all these things that you're actually paying for. All this stuff is great, but it has a lot of flaws, a lot. And I just think it's getting too big because as it gets bigger, these flaws are becoming more and more and more noticeable. So I don't know. I mean, it just all depends on what you're used to and what you're looking for. I think I like the villages better, and you're going to hate me for this. When it was Spanish Springs and Lake Sumter Landing only, basically only them two, I think that was big enough. And the atmosphere then was totally different than it is now.
It was a lot different, yeah. And which we're in Brownwood, which is, that's not Spanish Springs and Lake Sumter, but we're part of the problem, I guess.
Yeah,
But
well, not really. Well, yeah, because we were up at we. I wanted to be a snowbird. I thought that was the way to go. That's where it all started, and I was set for that. And then when we decided to come down here full time, we wanted to buy a new house. Why? The new houses. This is weird too for most people that don't know. Brand new houses are much cheaper than a pre-owned home, and we're not rich, so we wanted to get a nice home for the two of us. But I didn't want to spend $1 million either, and I'm using that. That's facetious. But if I wanted to stay in the Lake Sumter area, a pre-owned home, and we looked at a few of them up there. I don't even know what the price was. Let's just say they were $250,000 at that time for a pre-owned home. The real estate lady we had, she said, "Have you ever considered a new home?" And I said, "No, not really." I said, "I probably can't afford that." And she said, "Well, let's go take a look." So we come to this area. This is a brand new area. Nobody lived here. They were still building. And we could buy a brand new home here. We had a choice of 3 or 4 at the time. Brand new 3-bedroom homes, 2-car garages for 220. You just think about that. 220 for a brand new home, 250 for a pre-owned home. Brand new home, 10-year warranty, up to which that's kind of true, kind of not true. Pre-owned home, no warranty unless you want to buy it or whatever. Um, I got nothing against both. But the two of us, we just decided, why don't we just buy a brand new home? Because we have never owned a brand new home in our life. Never. We've always bought pre-owned. We've always looked for something that we could flip, but we had to live in it at the time. And we've always sold them for more than what we bought them for. And that's what we looked for. Here, we're looking for a home to live in and maybe die in. And so we decided to buy a brand new one.
yeah, but your forever home is never your forever home.
Not really. Deb told us something. We were looking at a pre-owned home once. At that time, it was like 300,000, and I was really, I'm a tight ass. I was really looking for something that a little bit less than that, and we was looking at this one, and I said, well, she said, well, what about that house over so and so? She saw them with us, and I said, well, that was like $300,000, Deb. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money. And she said, she said, you might as well. You're going to spend it anyway. She's exactly right. You're going to spend it anyway.
Yep, that's true. And oh my, we're so far behind. Um, William says, what about the illegal Canadians?
The what?
The illegal Canadians?
He's not illegal.
I'm just saying that's what he says. What about the illegal Canadians?
I don't know what he's talking about. People just making stuff up again.
Oh, I don't know.
Canada can come here to visit. They got 6 months. It's in the laws. But I think they changed that now, where it can be upwards of like 10 months or 11 months.
Well, I
then they got to go home. Illegals is when you come here, and they have no right to be here. Period. And now we're supposed to give them money and take care of them, give them free housing and all that kind of crap. What the hell's the matter with you? If you're a Democrat, go find another channel to be on, because I don't want you on mine. What?
Really?
I'm just tired of that. People come here illegal, and then people want to argue about it.
Okay.
I ain't arguing about it. That's exactly the way I feel about it.
There are over 1,000 housing units going in on the west side of 301, just north of Wildwood. When that's finished, 301 will be a mess as bad as 27441 is right now. It's almost that bad. You go, there's certain times.
Say that
now,
again.
1,000 housing units going in on the west side of 301, just north of Wildwood. When that's finished, 301 will be a mess as bad as 27441.
301's a mess now.
Yeah. Like I said, there's certain times when it's end-to-end cars. When like your 5 o'clock traffic at home, we always knew when the 5 o'clock traffic was coming. And it's kind of like that here. When people get off work, it's end-to-end traffic on 301.
How many times we go over get the motorhome and I can't even get out?
Yeah. It's pretty much that bad now, but it will get worse. Like I said, 6 hotels and all this housing that they're putting. 301's the main thoroughfare, and I said it's going to be worse. Yeah, but we don't, sitting here at our house, we don't notice that as much as when this is the same quiet place it's always been. You go on to the outside. That's where you get so aggravated with the traffic and the people and, lines at the restaurant and things like that. Otherwise, here we're this is why they call it the bubble.
Denise in Florida has a good point. I never thought about that. She said, more hotels in Wildwood gives me more options if I have to get out of the way of a hurricane. In other words, she doesn't have to drive clear to Ocala to get to a hotel. She's in Florida. She doesn't have to drive all the way up to, because when a hurricane comes here and people on the coast are getting out, they're heading to a hotel. They're going to Orlando, whatever, to a hotel. Those are the first ones that fill up.
Yeah.
And then you got to drive, I don't know, I've heard as much as 100 miles just to find a room. And last time Tom was here, he was chased out of here by a hurricane. I think he ended up finding a hotel in Alabama.
Yeah, I had to go all the way to Alabama.
Yeah.
Because they were full.
They were full.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got a point. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Time flies when you're having fun, Skip, says John Lombard. It does. There's an old thing that said the older you get, the faster the time goes. And that seems to be true. I can't hardly believe sometimes that I've been here 9 years.
Yeah.
It just seems like not too many days ago we planted these bushes back here. I mean, that just amazes me. I can't believe sometimes that my grandchildren are grown up. And they are.
Yeah, we've got great grandchildren now that are all, they're going pretty fast. So, oh my goodness. Ronnie Delaplane, $9.99. Well, thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie, he says, Skip, love your comment on Dems and illegals. That is worth a super chat.
Well, listen, I got nothing against Democrats. I don't. Everybody's got their right. Matter of fact, let me just put this out there so that everybody doesn't hate me for some of the things that I say. Sometimes I talk and I don't think. Because on this thing here, you're supposed to attract more subscribers. And when you make little comments like that, you probably chase away more subscribers than you attract. That's what she's trying to tell me, but I don't really do this, just to get subscribers, even though I do want them. I don't do this just for that. I do this to get information out there. I do this to have some fun. And so, I do things sometimes that some people don't get, they don't understand, but I'm just having a little bit of fun with this stuff. But the Kennedy, what's his name? Bobby Kennedy's son is running for president now. I am not a Democrat. I have, at one time, I take that back. Back in the old Democrat days when John Kennedy was president, I was a Democrat, even though I couldn't vote back then. I was too young. But my family has always been Democrat. The Democrats of the Kennedy days are not the Democrat of today. I don't know what changed. I don't know how it changed. And I don't know why it changed. But it has changed. But I will say the Republicans back then are not the Republicans of today. That's all changed. And I think we have to kind of guide our way through to the point where it isn't Democrat anymore versus Republican, or it ain't Republican versus Democrat. People seem to have lost the sight of what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be doing, like you and me, their goddamn job. Protect the country, protect the people, the United States people, protect our jobs, our style of living, and protect our borders. That's what they're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be going into other countries and feeding them. I mean, if we can afford it, fine, but you don't feed other countries while our military people are living in the goddamn street. And that's where I take exception. Now, I know I painted a big picture there that doesn't cover everything, but that's what really makes me mad is that. I think if everything works out, and I don't know that it will, this Kennedy kid running, the Bobby Kennedy's kid, I've been watching this talking his speeches. He's running for president now. I got a question about him too, but anyway, he could be the answer for the Democrats to come back into power because he's talking like John and Bobby. He's got that vibe to me. Now he can make a mistake along the way. Who knows? He can make a mistake where everybody goes, "Oh, see," but I don't know. But let me ask you this question: if anybody of you know out there, what happened to his voice? Has he had throat cancer or something and had an operation on his voice or whatever? I'm just curious. It has nothing to do with him politically. I'm just curious because his voice really sounds like he had a problem somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at all these super chats. Holy crap. Thanks.
Oh my. Oh, Marcia gifted a membership.
Who?
Marcia, she gifted a membership. Thank you,
Thanks, Marcia. Who got the new membership? Did it say? I know I tried it. I can't do it because I'm a creator. I was going to give 20 of them away the other day, and that wouldn't let me do it.
You can't do it on your phone.
Is that it?
Yes, you have to do it on the computer. You can't do it
But
on your phone.
it tells you when you gift a membership, it'll come up, I think, somewhere. It comes up and it says, so-and-so received a gifted membership. And I'm just curious who got the gifted membership. Because I think they got to be on the chat to get that gifted membership.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, like I said, the 999 was from Ronnie Delaplane.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not doing this to make anybody mad. But I feel like I got to be honest with you because you guys have been with us for a long time. And I'm not going to make up a story just so 6 months from now I'll say something and you're going to go, what? Well, wait a minute. Didn't he say this or that back then? If you start lying, you can't keep up with it. So I'm just going to say how I feel about things, and you can agree, you can disagree. That's fine. I don't care. I mean, me and her don't agree on anything.
And we've been together 52 years, so there's a way to get along. You agree to disagree. There you go. Phil Beard says he doesn't regret moving into the villages over 4 years ago. There have been some changes, and you have to adapt.
You have to adapt.
Yeah. Monica and I stay in the bubble. We only go as far as we have to. Yeah, that's why I said if you're, my home is comfortable, it's in a good area, I can do about everything I want, but I do have to go to the outside every once in a while. But that's when you run into the traffic and the rude people and, a lot of others standing in line at most places. And so I said, as long as I'm in my little bubble here, I'm good.
Well, I'll tell you the thing, the day's coming, and I don't know if anybody's ever talked about it. The day's coming where everybody here is going to move one way or the other. You're going to move. You're not going to be here. And I keep thinking if the day would ever come for some reason that we'd have to move, say, back to Indiana, for an example, which that's probably where I'd go because that's where the kids are at. So you go back to Indiana. She is so used to getting in the car and in 5 minutes be anywhere. Square, get her nails done, hair done, grocery store.
Yeah, everything is so convenient.
And when you go back to where your roots are, the town is 25-minute drive over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you got one grocery store, not 12.
Yeah. It says John Tamulonis was gifted a membership by Marcia. Okay.
Who? John who?
Tamulonis. Is that how it's
okay.
pronounced? I'm not sure.
Well, he's already, he's been gifted the member.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
John, you just got a free membership from Marcia.
You may not want to watch us, but yeah, you got it.
Take advantage of that free gift that she give you, though, because as a YouTube member, I don't guarantee you get all of the videos that I put on YouTube, but I do put a lot of them on there. You'll get them early, and they're always commercial free. If you hate commercials as much as I do, and I know that sounds hypocritical, doesn't it? Because YouTube pays me a little bit of money to put commercials on my videos. So I make a little money from that, but at the same time, I hate commercials. Well, that's because there are so many big YouTube channels that I used to watch all the time that I don't anymore. They're getting money from YouTube commercials, and then they put their own product commercial in that video also. So you end up watching them, and they talk about, and you'll see it all the time, they'll talk about this, right, e-bike. Everybody's doing a commercial on e-bikes. Look at my e-bike. Oh, I tried this. Let's do a thing. It goes on for 15 minutes talking about this e-bike, and they're all the same, really. And then as soon as he's done, and you think, okay, now we're getting back to whatever the video is about, and then all of a sudden, YouTube commercial comes on. I get so sick of that. I say, take your choice. Either do your product commercial or do a YouTube commercial. Don't do both, because that's just greedy to me. And so I choose that I do YouTube commercials. I don't do product commercials. We've talked about it, but so far I haven't been impressed with what they want to do. I'm not interested in getting a free e-bike. I got enough crap in my garage. You know,
Yeah. Okay, well, Bill says the sheer size now and what it will expand to in the future is what concerns his better half and is keeping us from pulling the trigger on buying a home now. We know, Bill, it's like I
keep him
said
buying a home where?
here.
And what do you say?
It said that the sheer size and uh, the expansion is what concerns his
Yeah,
wife.
yeah. Well, it concerns me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's the. I don't want to say it's bad area. It's not, because that's called the villages. If you don't understand what that is, I always say change that word to neighborhood. I'm in the neighborhood of Hillsboro, and somebody could be in the neighborhood of Fernandino. When you get in these different neighborhoods, you have generally your own rec center. It's everybody's rec center, but it's your neighborhood rec center. That's where the family pools are at, pickleball courts, billiard room, card rooms, all this stuff is there. And then your postal station for your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And at the postal station, you'll also have bocce ball outside. You have horseshoes usually around there. They have picnic areas around there. And then you have the adult swimming pool. So if you don't want to hear kids running and screaming and playing, which is what they do, and you'd like to go sit at a pool where it's nice and quiet and read a book, you go to the adult pool. And so it doesn't seem like the villages is that big because you have a tendency that that's your world right there in that neighborhood area.
Right.
Not just some you can't go to other areas. You can. Anybody can come that's a resident here can come to your pool. They generally don't do that though unless they're visiting. So this is your world. When you leave the world, you go to the grocery store and it's 5 minutes down the road and you come back. Or you may go down to the square for a couple of hours to have dinner and whatever, and then you come back. So what goes on down in Finney when you hear me say all the time, well, I don't really know what's going on. I don't know about this area. It's because I don't go down there. And that's pretty much after you settle into your home, settle into your area. That's how your world's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like whatever state that you're in have different towns. And we have different towns, only it's all the villages. But, there's Spanish Springs, that's one town. Sumter Landing, that's one town. Brownwood, that's one town. Where the new one will be Eastport to the south of us, and that'll be another town. So if you think of it in terms of, there's so many thousand in this town, it's not all one thing. It's, like I said, separate towns, only it's all called the villages.
KM, you crack me up. So I guess it's because in my mind I'm reading things differently. Whenever you read something, can you read anger sometimes when the way somebody types something?
Yes.
Or can you read happy when somebody
Yes.
types something? Here's how I read KM's. Germany was fantastic and beautiful. Went to many places in 10 days. Reason to go there, my daughter married a German guy.
I read that, yes. And I understand.
Did I read that wrong? Was I wrong?
Oh, it's CPACA, $9.99. Well, thank you. And I said, oh my gosh. And to Aretha,
To Aretha.
$20?
What? I haven't even got down there. I don't even know where I'm at.
Oh my goodness. And that was the first super chat from her.
Cool.
And that was the first super chat from CPECA.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm on the fence here about what to do. After Sue's next treatment, and of course after my birthday thing, which is not really a birthday thing, but it kind of is, or it kind of ain't, So anyway,
What does that mean? Who knows?
Sue knows what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about taking a trip and going up to Indiana. We always go up there at least once a year and visit some friends that we got, and go up and see our oldest boy, which is in Fort Wayne, and hopefully maybe see the grandson, which he's growing like a weed. And anyway, if we and there's no guarantee we'll see anybody. I mean, we go up there, they might be on vacation somewhere else. I don't know. But and I'm on the fence about take the motorhome up there, which I really like traveling in the motorhome. I can pull over anytime I want. I just like that. Or because I'm only going to be gone maybe a little over a week, maybe. I'm not going to be up there for a month, or take the car. and just do hotels all the way up and all the way back. Um, I don't know.
Have you seen the price of hotels lately?
I haven't even looked. I'm scared to look.
Yeah, well, I would be, yeah.
And all the rules. Some of these hotels, I was talking to a guy the other day. He said some of these hotels are still under COVID restrictions.
Really?
Yeah, I can't believe it. I thought that was done and over, but I guess in other states, they're still having a lot of COVID restrictions. I'm not saying they have COVID problems, but they're under the restrictions of, I don't know what they are. You have to wear a mask to go here. I don't know. I don't, you know, we're in the motorhome. I don't have any restrictions other than the ones that Sue give me.
Yeah, like don't do that. Okay.
Richard Wesner, I got a $5 thing from Richard. Is that an old one or a new one?
I think that's, I don't know.
I don't either. But if it's old or new, I don't know. I just found it. Thank you, Richard.
Oh, no, it's a new one. Yeah.
You got balloons over here. It must be for my birthday.
Oh.
I don't know. Listen, I don't celebrate my birthday. I'm kind of am now. I'm kind of not. I'm just going to be here. My birthday's coming around. I know Linda's going to be going back to California for personal reasons. She'll be gone till probably September or something like that. And Judy, I don't know. She could be going on vacation. She's talked about going to Key West. I don't know. So I just thought, W&L crew, they've volunteered a lot of time for me and everything. So I told Sue, I said, make arrangements if they can. I'm going to take the W&L crew out on my birthday and buy dinner. And, thanking them for helping me out. So hopefully that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And my moderators here, they never send me anything. So I don't know who's available, who ain't available. I don't know.
Okay, Melissa Luger says,
Marcia. I knew I'd see it sooner or later.
hey guys, finally here full time. So glad to be gone from Germany. Loving it here. That's Melissa Lugers.
She said, what now?
She said, finally here full time. She's so glad to be gone from Germany.
You didn't like Germany? Most people I talk to say they love Germany.
Yeah, well, if it's who I think it is, I understand. The family man says, what age were you when you started looking at retirement communities?
Probably 40.
He wanted to retire.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that so much. I just don't like to put off I might have been in my 40s. I don't really know exactly. I just know that my dad at that time, when I started looking probably was when my dad got his place down here, and he was a snowbird. And he would take pictures back then. I don't know if you remember the camera. He would buy these Kodak cameras that had a square thing on top of it that when you took the picture, a light bulb would go off, and then the thing would turn.
Yeah.
And they take a picture of a light bulb. Yeah. Anyway, and then he had to take the film in to get it developed. So he would take pictures around, and then when he'd come back up to Indiana, he would show me all these pictures, and I would look at them. And they did my dad and mom did a lot of daytime excursions from Fort Meade. They went out to the beach a lot and collected seashells somewhere. I don't know, the island we went to once. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, they collected seashells. Sanibel, I think, yeah. He collected so many seashells that he ended up getting 2 big antique milk and butter churn things.
Yeah, they were glass and butter churns, antique. Nice. They had the big square jar with the lid on it, and
they were full of them shells.
Yeah, they were full of them shells, and we actually made lamps out of them. We used to have a lamp shop years ago. We had a lamp shop.
Yeah,
and we made lamps out of them, and they were pretty cool.
And he gave them away to somebody before he died, or before Mom died. They started giving things away.
Yeah.
And I don't know who got them because I always kind of wanted them. I always thought they was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and he'd do all kinds of trips. They went out in the middle of a swamp one time, and they were talking about how they were going to build a golf course there. And wherever they were at, there was this big rattlesnake in the middle of this dirt path that they were driving on. Charlie, that was his friend. Charlie was a big loyal friend of my dad's. If Dad needed help, all you had to do was call Charlie. Charlie was there no matter what. But Charlie was one of them guys you had to keep an eye on. He would come over to help, but he had his ideas about how to do it. And so you had to watch Charlie, I'm telling you. But he always meant well. So anyway, he gets out with this big long stick, and Dad's got his little 8mm camera, the kind you wind up and take video. And he's taking a picture of Charlie, and Charlie goes out, and this rattlesnake, pretty good sized rattlesnake, is all coiled up in the middle of the road. And Charlie decides he's going to go poke it with a stick. When he does, this rattlesnake shot out at him, and it shot out, I'm guessing, a lot further than what Charlie thought he was going to be able to come at him. Scared Charlie so bad, he ran and got back in the van and refused to get back out and left. So that was what Charlie and Dad did on excursions. They just get out and just go and look and see and do and that kind of thing. Me, I'm not one of them to get out and go look and see and do, because we spent 20 and 30 years driving around Florida, going and seeing and looking and doing, to where it came to the point was it got narrowed down really to on top of the world and here. That's how it got narrowed down. We looked at other places, but basically it was here. And when I thought about golf, there was no competition to here at all when it came to golf. Once we decided this was the place, it was just a matter of making our mind, snowbird or full time. I said snowbird, and that didn't work out.
Once you get meet your neighbors and get in clubs and stuff like that, you don't want to leave and stop that. So I said we ended up being full time. So and
Is Jerry talking about me?
yeah.
He said, that LVC guy, you guessed it, he's getting old. Who is he? He, is it,
No.
am I the he?
I don't know where you're at, so.
I'm clear at the bottom.
Okay, well, Jerry says if you take the car, you'll complain that you didn't take your RV. If you take the RV, you'll complain about how much gas it takes. Pick your poison.
Well, it doesn't. I don't really think about that. Seriously, I don't, because whatever I spend in gas, that would cost me that much, if not more, for a hotel. And food at the hotel. It isn't like you can carry your sandwiches with. Well, I guess you could, but we don't. It's always, you got, and I would spend a fortune on the road in a car going to Starbucks.
Well, yeah, because you don't have your coffee maker.
I'm a coffee maker, and I'd be going to Starbucks 3-4 times a day.
Yeah. Kathy B wants to know if you'll be having a WNL this month.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. It's a maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't know.
And Marcia says her wrench is gone.
The what?
It says her wrench is gone, but it's on here.
Her wrench?
Yeah.
No, Marcia. Your wrench is on here.
Yeah, it's on mine too, so.
Oh, you're there.
Okay. And then Melissa Luger says living is different than vacationing in Germany. It's that way everywhere. It's different when you live there than when you're just visiting.
I'm sure that's true. Because when you visit, I guess it's touristy places, I guess, like it is here. People come to Florida, first thing they think of, I guess, is either beaches or amusement parks. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
When we moved here, I didn't have an amusement park in my mind at all. People would say, well, how far are you from Disney? I didn't really care. We'd done our Disney crap with 5 granddaughters, one at a time. And then a couple of times we came down and brought 2 at a time. We've been to Disney so many times, I think I could wrote a book about it. I haven't been to Disney and haven't even had the inclination of even going to Disney in the 9 years I've been here.
But now there is a lot of new stuff I'd kind of like to.
I would like to see some new stuff, but with the crowds that they're talking about, and then you have to have these reservations. And there's no guarantee. They only give out so many a day. And there's no guarantee that if you go in and pay your $200 a day pass to go in there, and you want to they tell you can't make a reservation till 7 o'clock in the morning, and by 7:30 they're all giving out. Now I just know me and my patients that ain't going to work.
And
So
it's got to be simpler than that. You make everything difficult.
I watch all of the videos on the top channels at Disney. Adam DeWoo is one, and he'll tell you about it. I can't think of that other guy. Him and his wife. He's been doing Disney stuff
I remember.
forever.
Yeah, I've seen
Anyway, they all tell you, well, now you can do this, now you can do that, and then I watched them sit there on the side of the steps saying, I can make it a reservation to see that Star Wars thing. I would like to see that, you know. And at 7 o'clock, he's punching in there, and then by 7:15, he gets an email back saying, okay, you're in the number so and so group to go in. Number so and so group don't get in until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're not guaranteed. And he's at 7 in the morning doing this. I don't even get up at 7 in the morning.
Okay. All right. Then I understand it that way. Oh, $20 from Terry Walker. Well, thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Okay. Wrestler is busy with graduation stuff.
Oh, yeah, he probably is this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably is. Never thought of that.
Jerry Bell says, Wrestler, I hope you graduate. Yeah. Good one, Jerry.
Was that Jerry's picture in the paper? He never did say.
Maybe he doesn't want to say.
Well, I'm going to harass him till he does.
Well, this mini said it took us 1 hour and 15 minutes to get from Disney World to Lake Meona Rec Center. Yeah.
Take how long?
1 hour and 15 minutes.
To get from Disney to Lake Meona?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and which, it depends on the traffic and what road you're taking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know how it is now, but I can tell you how we used to go. We found this, it's not really a shortcut, but I found it a lot easier than it takes 75 down to 4 and cutting across over to Disney and all that. We took 27 and 441 out here, all the way down. Back in the day, 27 and 441 went down so far and literally come to an end. And that made a circle, like a ramp, came around and got on another road, whatever that road was.
92, I think. I'm not sure.
Not sure either. And that brings you in on the, it would be the north side of 4. And there's a Disney exit. When you go past the hotels there on the left, there's a sign there saying Disney to the left. So you want to be in the left lane there. And when you get on that road, you don't even realize it. That's the entrance road to get in Disney World.
Yeah.
And we started going that way because the traffic was much better to go that way.
Yeah. And this Mindy says you're right, that Disney is like that now, 7 a.m. and they're all gone in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $200 to go down there to find out that at 10 o'clock I can't see this ride.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in being in there all day long in 90-degree weather. Here's what my idea of going to Disney World is for an old man. Yes. I want to get out of bed around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, go down to the lobby, have my breakfast, or go somewhere and have breakfast. And then we'll sit there for an hour and drink coffee at Starbucks. So, well, what do you want to do today? And she said, oh, I don't know. What do you want to do today? Well, I want to do the Star Wars thing. And, we'll talk about what we want to see. So sometime around lunch, I want to start moseying into the park. And when we get into the park, right away, I want to talk about, so where do you want to have lunch?
Everything revolves around food.
Yeah. And then we'll just kind of mosey around till we find some place we've never been, and we'll go in there and have lunch. One of my favorite places to have lunch at Disney was, and I can't think of the name of it. I want to say it was 50's Diner.
Something
the lady, the waitress that came in, oh, my cousin. And remember that? That was so much fun.
Yeah. I don't know if that was it's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you need a reservation now, because when we was there, we just walked in.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then when we get done with that, because now we're going to talk about the hot part of the day, right? Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we have to decide on where we're going to go, and let's make our reservation to find out, oh, no, I can't get a reservation today. It's full. See, that's how my day would go, and I can't do what I want to do.
The family man says he was at Walt Disney World for spring break and dreaded going. But once he got there, it wasn't nearly as bad as I imagined. And I think that's usually how it is. And until it, in the summertime when it heats up in the 90s, it starts out in the 90s. Then it's kind of miserable. It really
Especially if you got to
is.
stand in line.
Yeah.
I remember the smells standing in line with the grandkids to get on a ride. All the fans were blowing to kind of keep the heat moving, and sweating. It was just
Sticky kids.
and I was a lot younger then. Today, I'd probably pass out, have a heart attack or something
Yeah.
standing in there.
Oh, Bill says 50s Primetime Cafe. Yes, that's what it was.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. And then I said that was 20-some years ago.
I know, but it's still there.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, Family says Skip needs to find a Club 33 member at Walt Disney World. Those people don't make any reservations for anything. Amazing experience.
What is it?
Club 33. I don't know what that is, Family Man. Is that something new?
That's something you got to buy $1,000 membership to be one.
Oh, well.
I heard about Club 33. I seen a thing about Club 33.
Well, and Desmond said they'll be at Disney on Sunday for a week. They're Disney Vacation Club members. Yeah, the
DVC clubs.
Yeah, the DVC and Judy. Judy goes to Disney a lot because she's a DVC member.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about the DVC members, just from what I've seen, is there's a lot of areas, not maybe a lot, but there's some areas in all the Disney parks that only DVC members can go, like an area to take a break. And so when you go in there, it's air conditioned, a lot of tables that are available to anybody because not everybody's a DVC member. So there's like free Cokes, free popcorn, whatever's in there, and you can sit down and rest. And that's the biggest thing about Disney that I have noticed that last time I was there, that it's a 90-degree day and you're walking around with grandkids, there's nowhere to sit. I mean, you got to make a place to sit. There's a place where there's a plant, so you sit on the edge of it. What could be in the sun, though? I've seen people walking around with plates of food, but there's no place to sit in a restaurant, and they're eating on top of a trash can.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Well, then I said, you can't be in the sun like that anymore. Look what Wrestler said. To Skip and Sue, Universal has Harry Potter. I would definitely watch a video of Skip playing with his little wand.
Yeah. You got to buy the wand.
Yeah, and he said that Club 33 is an exclusive club.
Yeah, it's a membership thing.
And there's a DVC Club Lounge in Epcot. Yeah. And but it doesn't have a bathroom, but it has Coke freestyle machine.
They don't have a bathroom? Uh-oh.
We're getting to the end here, guys.
Well, hey, it was fun talking about all this. Hope I didn't make anybody mad by the little comment I made about the Democrats. It just came out. What can I tell you?
How he just poking the bear.
Yeah, I like to poke the bear once in a while. Thanks for coming. Thanks for subscribing. Watch all my videos if you can. And
see you on the other side.
We'll see you. Yeah. How do I get out of this thing?